Well, hello and welcome back to another Chalkbowl conversation. Today's guest is Ethan Dick. He'll be well known to anybody that's tuning in, I'm sure. So Ethan was a 360 athlete, I guess was his first step on the pathway towards high-level gymnastics. He was a Commonwealth Games floor finalist, I believe. Oceania champion, attended a World Championships, and more recently has received a scholarship to train and live and continue his gymnastics at Penn State University. Ethan?
Yeah, just Penn State.
Yeah.
That's what everyone calls it, but it is Penn State University.
So welcome. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to actually have a conversation with you. You're so useless at communicating with us back home. So I have to pin you down with a proper interview. What's it like there? I mean, we're kind of heading into summer. I'm guessing it's getting pretty cold over there.
Oh yeah, it's freezing here. The summers are really hot, like hotter than New Zealand.
Like humid or dry hot?
It's pretty humid.
Yeah,
but it's like a bit of both, but it's pretty humid. And then it just gets cold like quickly. Like the other day I was getting ready for school, checking my phone, it's like -1. I was like, oh my goodness, no way. And I bike to school.
Oh really? How far away from school do you live?
It's like a 20-minute walk.
Oh, okay.
I have like an electric bike, which saves me.
You're so lazy.
I was already getting injured walking so much because my teammates have cars, but I was like, we have different schedules. Yeah. And I was like, this is not going to work out. I need something. So now I use this, which is saving. It's freezing, but they give us gear and stuff, so it's like it's manageable. But the cold is like definitely an adjustment.
Yeah. What's the nearest city to Penn State?
Probably Philly is like 4 hours away, Philadelphia, and then it's like that. Pittsburgh is like 3 hours, and then New York's like 3 hours as well.
Okay, so you're East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast, yeah. But Penn State's like pretty central Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So look, let's just crack into it and see if we can dig out some interesting information from you and your journey at Penn State. Look, we've had a few athletes now gain scholarships to US colleges, and I'm just curious to know what, and I'm sure our listeners will be curious to know what the process for getting a scholarship was for you. Like some people are scouted and other people go through a formal process where they have someone put together a pack and they kind of sell their ability, I guess, to the college. What was your journey to Penn State like?
I would say I was scouted. When I was younger, I was interested in college. Like I saw Misha and stuff go to Ohio State, but I don't know like how to go about it or anything. And then I went to Oceania champs and I won. And then like a couple of weeks later, the assistant coach just messaged me on Instagram and was like asking me about the US, if I was interested, all this stuff. And apparently he spoke to Devi in Doha about me, and they were just talking about me and like stuff like that. But he hit me up on Instagram and I was like, oh yeah, sure. Pretty much. But then it was like a whole journey.
Yeah,
because you have to do the SAT, you have to do all this stuff, you have to be eligible, because I'm like older than what I should be in my class.
Yeah, so
I had to do all this other stuff because I'm like 2 years older than these guys, but yeah, it worked out in the end.
So the SATs are like academic tests to make sure you're smart enough to cope at university, right?
Yeah, it's like a standardized test. Lucky I got the athlete special exemption on my one.
All right, so you're coping.
Yeah, the school this semester, because we were online with COVID and stuff last semester, and it was like it wasn't that bad. It was like fine, but I hadn't done school in like 2 years pretty much.
Yeah,
so it wasn't that bad. But this semester's been rough because it's like the first in-person one.
Yeah,
but that's like I'm coping. I'm
Yeah,
passing all my classes. So
good. That's it. C's get degrees, right?
exactly. But yeah,
I'm just trying to remember, when did you first arrive at Penn State? Was it during COVID or before?
it was it was during COVID. It was Christmas last year,
Okay. So
so
you
it was
went,
like pretty peak.
yeah.
Not
So what
like
was that
peak, but it was
experience like?
well, coming from New Zealand, because New Zealand was fixed. I mean, you guys aren't very fixed now, but it was like it was good in New Zealand,
Yeah.
and then come here, super strict,
Yeah.
masks everywhere. It was way different, but there was no one on campus. It was only student athletes
Okay.
until like February. So I was like, I didn't actually mind it because I could like adjust to the school a bit better. But it was still like crazy, super strict.
Yeah.
Like I was going to do my laundry in the dorm, and I didn't have, my room was like 2 seconds away from the laundry. I didn't have my mask on. The RA comes and gets me. I was like, oh my God, got written up. I was like, yo, what?
Wow. Really?
No one was there. It was only me.
Wow. Well,
But
good
yeah,
taking it seriously though, eh?
yeah, super serious. That's what it is.
Like rapid antigen tests and things like that regularly, or
Yeah, we had to last year it was 3 times a week
yeah,
at like was it? I think it was 3 times a week in season. We had to wake up like 6, go
yeah,
get tested, come back, and then now it's a slightly less strict because we're out of season. But if you're unvaccinated, then it's once a week,
yeah.
and it's like rapid 15 minutes. But then when we get into season, it'll be 3 times a week.
Yeah.
It's like it's annoying, but it's what it
Yeah.
is.
Kind of our new reality, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you arrived on campus and there's nobody there. You were living on campus, right?
Yeah, I was in the dorms. It was
What,
just us on
did
the
you have any other teammates in the dorms as well?
yeah. When I first got there, because I had to isolate in the hotel, and I was like, yeah, this is crazy. Like just in this new country for 2 weeks alone. I was
Yeah.
like, it was kind of wild.
Yeah.
But then I met the guys, like they came and visited me,
Yeah.
and I met them. That was cool. And then I moved into my dorm room,
Yeah.
and it was literally only there's like 5 guys in my
Mm,
class.
yeah.
So there was a lot of us. It was fun. Like the freshmen this year, there's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it was easy for us.
You had company then.
Yeah, we still had a good time. It was
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Well, your classes were online, I assume. So did you like do them in your room, or did you have like a study area that you had other guys with, or
Well, last year I just did them all in my room
yeah.
because it was just easier, and like we would just sleep a lot. So we'd just wake up 5 minutes before the class, jump on, do it. But there is like now we have like required study hours at
Yeah.
the study hall. So we would have to do that last year as well. But
Yeah.
it was like it wasn't as easy because you had to sign in and stuff. But now I go there a lot actually. We have to get 5 required hours in a week
Mm,
at the academic center.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's actually nice though.
Mm. And is all that quite close to your gym that you're training in?
Yeah, when I was in the dorms, the gym's like a 3-minute walk,
Yeah.
which was really nice. Now it's like 20 minutes from my house, but campus is like everything's pretty close. It's like a big campus.
Mm.
From my furthest class, it's maybe like a 7-minute walk to the gym, which
Okay.
is fun. Yeah,
That's
so it's
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
And I mean, what's the gym like? We have a lot of, well, I suppose at TriStar we have a lot of speed gear. What kind of gear are you guys training on?
When I first got there, it was all AAI, like American gear.
Yeah.
Which like, and it's pretty old as well. Like I would say TriStar's way better gym.
Really?
But the gear's pretty old. Now we got a speed floor. This floor we had before was terrible. Like no one wanted to do anything on it. And we had like 3 torn Achilles last season as well.
Oh no.
So
Yeah,
luckily,
our floors are pretty hard.
yeah, it was bad. So luckily we got the AI floor. Oh, sorry, the speed floor now,
Mm.
which is way better. The other stuff, it's pretty much all AI.
Yeah.
The P-bars are good. The horses are right. I don't like the high bar though. And then
You don't like any high bar.
No, I don't. But especially this one, it's too slippery.
Oh,
I
really?
missed the youth one. Yeah.
Uh, um,
But hopefully.
what sort of size is the gym? Like if you were to compare it to a New Zealand club, what would it be similar to?
Penn State is a big gym. It's probably one of the biggest in there out of all the schools. So it's probably similar size to TriStar because we have a girls team as well.
Okay.
But so we have like a good facility. It's a big size. But I went to like Ohio State. I don't know if you've seen videos of the Ohio State gym. It looks big. It's
Yeah,
like tiny.
really.
And then Minnesota is literally like a shoebox. Like it's literally. I was like, yo, they don't have a vault or a floor. Everything's to one side. I was like, what? How does anyone train it? I was like, how do they get any recruits? But they're actually a really good team.
So
I couldn't believe it.
In another
Yeah,
gym.
I was like, I couldn't believe it when I walked in. I was like, oh my gosh, they have to go walk to the girls' gym to use their vault and
Really?
stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
like
man.
so we're actually blessed at Penn State with our gym. Yeah.
That reminds me. Do you remember doing that trip to Japan
Yeah.
juniors, and we trained in that gym where they had to like run outside to the vault
Yeah.
that was inside? It was
The
like,
floor was on a separate whole thing. It's
yeah.
sort of similar. Even this one was smaller. I was actually like, yo, there's
How's that
no way.
possible? I thought that was pretty creative floor
Uh,
planning.
and they had Shane, one of the best. Shane went there. Shane Whiskers.
Whiskers, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's training there. So if we were complaining, we had no excuse really.
Yeah, exactly. Means New Zealand boys, you got no excuse. Your gyms
I
are
know you guys have the best gym I've trained at.
quit your moaning. Um, so maybe can you give us a bit of an idea of what a week might look like for you? Obviously, you got to balance your academic with your training. Like a day and a week, maybe. What does that look like for you, kind of as a regular?
Well, our hardest day is probably Thursday and Monday. We have wake up at like 6:20 a.m. We have to go to gym 6:45, and we do ring
You ever
strength.
woken up that early?
Like no, not at all. It's still a struggle to get out of bed, but at least my teammates are there with me.
Yeah.
And then we do we do like a 7-minute run, like warm up thing. Then we do ring strength for like as long as it takes you. It's usually like an hour.
Mm.
It's like pretty. And I was like, in New Zealand, I barely did ring strength really.
Mm.
So and this is like killing. It's like way harder.
Yeah.
I was just used to it, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Man, my first class, I have 9 a.m. class every day, which isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So I'll go home, shower, eat some breakfast, take my little electric bike to class at 9 a.m. That's class. My first class is like an hour long, which is it's like English, it's fine. Then I have a class straight afterwards till 11. Then I'll go to study hall for maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then I have one more class for an hour. And then we have gym, like a rail training at 2:30.
Yeah.
Till 5. Because it's like in the NCAA, they can only require a certain amount of hours.
Oh, really? So
So, which is
sessions then.
What's that?
Quite short sessions then.
Yeah, we just started group work because we have a lot more all rounders now, and it was like they were making us do half an hour each app, and I was like, yeah, there's no way, there's not enough time at all. So now we just go. We're meant to finish at 4:30.
Yeah.
Everyone just finishes at 5 because there's no way you can do anything in half an hour. So then lately that's been like 2 routines on 3 or 1 on 3 depending.
Yeah.
If Randy's feeling nice. He usually isn't, but it's fine. We always do 2 on horse. That's fine. And then we have lifting at 6 till 7. Which is just weight. Lifting. It's it'll be a lot of it's like power, like plyometrics, I guess, with your legs, with some specific weight training. Like we do deadlifts, we do like the landmine things.
Yeah.
We do farmer walks. It'll be whatever the lifting coach gets us to do.
Yeah.
I'd say it's pretty hard, but
So do you have different coaches for different roles within the team?
At the moment, because we started groups, so I think I'm in Tony's group, one of the assistant coaches. So he'll be like my main coach, and then but it rotates like every couple months, I think. So then I'll have Carlos. So we all get like a mixture of the coaches. But Randy's sort of he has his own group, but he oversees everyone.
Yeah.
And then we have a completely different lifting coach. His name's Jason. And
Yeah.
then I think Randy puts in his like input on what he wants us to do.
Yeah.
But it's basically up to him. But then we have like a psychologist guy comes talks to us on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a nutritionist. So, and then we have an athletic trainer and stuff. So there's like a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
A part of the team.
Yeah. Are all of, like, as your strength and conditioning coach, does he come to any of the gymnastic sessions, or is he just purely based in the gym?
He's purely in the gym. I've seen him maybe like once come to our training.
Does he work across other sports as well?
Yeah, he does like baseball, lacrosse.
Yeah.
And like he does women's gymnastics, women's lacrosse, the hockey.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of sports. But
yeah. So it's quite a full day. I mean, from training in the morning and then classes in the middle of the day, then training and then lifting. So what time would you get home in the evening?
Yeah, we'll probably get home like 7:15 maybe, I think. And then we probably have some homework if we do it. But
other people have homework, you know.
Yeah. That's like our hardest day. And then like a Tuesday. Oh, Wednesday's our light day.
Yeah.
And Saturday's a light day. So that's pretty similar. Same in New Zealand. We just come in, do like recovery, some problem skills, or if you want to work a new skill. It's pretty much like a free day to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then Tuesdays, just the gym session, and it'll be routines.
Yeah.
And that's a good day.
Nice. I mean, you've been there for how long now? A year and a half?
Almost a year, I think.
Yeah, it's just a year. That's right. So, I mean, how's your skill development going? What are some tricks that you're picking up?
I learned a giant on P-bars. Finally. I don't think I was ever going to learn it.
No, neither.
I was doing
we started training it, didn't we? And then you're like, no,
I was young.
I can't hold on.
Yeah, definitely not. The grip's no good. Because I was learning Felga. What they call it, teach over here. You can't say Felga.
Like, what's that?
Literally that. And then Tony's like, oh, let's just learn a giant. Because he was like teaching me this like not like hopping, like rolling, kind of like rolling my wrists.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but like that's the bar. You like roll your wrist over instead of like, you know how a lot of kids like hop.
Yeah.
Trying to learn it. That like removes that kind of. So he's like, oh, it's the same in giant. Let's just do it. And I was like, oh my God, really? I was like super scared. But it was actually easy. I was like, wow, it's crazy. So now I'm like putting that in the set.
Yeah.
Floor's been kind of rough because the body's just getting ruined, but I put Kovacs in my high bar set. That's terrifying. But it's getting there.
That's exciting.
What else? But vault 2.5's been going good.
Yeah.
My ring strength is getting better, I think.
You think?
I think some days it's good, other days I'm dying.
You're gonna have a little more than a back lever in your routine?
I don't even have a back lever. We'll have something else. No, I try to put the uprights planche in, but it's only a V now. So I'm like, I don't even want to do it. I'm like, Tony, really that worth it?
It's gonna lose the value straight away.
But I guess it's good for like building. So I'm doing that. Horse is good. It's good training with Steven too.
I was going to ask you that. So you're now training with a world champion. What's he like, and what's that like? You know, does that motivate you in your gym, or is it a bit demoralizing?
He's actually very like, he's like super funny, super outgoing.
Yeah,
like he's like kind of a little bit weird, but we all love him. Like we talked about like, damn, he's really the world champion, and no one even knows what he's like at all. But he's really funny. He's good. He's like obviously so knowledgeable about horse. You can ask him anything. and
Yeah.
he like a lot of people go to him more than some of the coaches because he does this stuff. He's really good to train with. About Worlds, he didn't train 2 weeks before he went.
Yeah, I read something about it. He was sick or something, eh?
Yeah, he had like a crazy fever, super sick, and he's like, his first routine was the one in qualifying. And
Really?
we all watched. Oh, there's no chance. There's no way. Randy's gonna be mad when he gets back. No. Yeah, we couldn't believe he won. It was crazy, and because he didn't get to go to the Olympics, we felt terrible.
Yeah.
But Alec deserved it as well, so it's fine. But we're happy he won. But it's a really good train with him because like he sets the standard. If we have a world champion, like we just got to trust our coaches. You know, they did it once.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
So when you're in the grind on pommels, you've now got a bit more inspiration.
Yeah, if he can do it. And if he won Worlds is not training for 2 weeks, what's my excuse? That's what Randy always says that
now. He's making it hard for you, actually.
Yep. Literally, he's like, yeah, we'll use this as a learning technique. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh no. So next time I've been crook for a week and I'm back in the gym, it's going to be full routines.
Yeah, there's no excuse. It's like, but
how was your pommels going? Because that's one of your stronger events.
Yeah, well, I was like, when I felt, because with the college, it's like way more routine focused. And in New Zealand, I was doing like pretty much Monday, Tuesday were pretty much basic days.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on basics. But in college, it's like, because we're competing every weekend, it's like a lot different, the preparation, which I noticed I wasn't doing as much basics, and it was like definitely affecting my circle. So I had to like notice that. I've started doing more basics now. Well, my horse is progressing. But when I first got here last year, I was just doing simple routines because they needed me to compete like instantly, which it like hindered my growth, I guess, on horse. But in the summer, I got my skills back.
Cool.
Like I changed my scissor, added the tong fei back in. So I'm feeling better on horse now. But we have a really good horse lineup.
Yeah.
So it's like Nick Mock, he's doing like a 6'5" set.
Wow.
We have like 5 horse specialists. So we'll see.
Pretty unusual too, I imagine. And
yeah. Because the all-rounders get pounded. Like the all-rounders of this game. It's kind of funny being an all-rounder because in New Zealand, pretty much everyone's an all-rounder.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But here it's like the majority of people are specialists.
Yeah.
So the training is kind of weird. Like they'll spend 2 hours on horse, but we have to touch everything.
Yeah.
But we keep up. It's not that bad.
So, I mean, I was going to ask you if you're still training all round as a priority, because I know that sometimes, like we've had a few athletes go to college and they end up just doing the events that they're really good at. So it sounds, well, I kind of figured that they had marked you as an all-rounder when you competed in the all-round last year. It's like you were their top all-rounder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did the best out of us.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, you were the top all-rounder on the day.
On Penn State, yeah. We have a few, like Michael Dro's really talented.
Yeah.
And then Matt Cormier, he went to Junior Worlds with Sam.
He
does it around. And then we got like this year we got a lot of good all-rounders. Josh Carnes, I don't know if you know him. But yeah, last year, well, I said before I came to turn, like one of the first things I said, I was like, I'm only gonna come if I can train all around. And they said, yeah, of course.
Cool.
That's a big thing with college as well, like communicating. I feel like you have to have a good relationship with the coaches, like instantly, because a lot of the guys on the team, they're like scared to tell Randy if they're hurting or they want to do this, but if you have a good relationship, he's fine with it.
Yeah.
So I established that early so I could still train all around. Like rings I was not liking ring because my shoulder was still kind of bugging me before I left.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I really got to do rings.
Yeah.
But I'm not that scared of it now, just a little bit.
How is your shoulder? Because you had a sublux a couple of years ago and did a very long rehab, and I know that was
it's good now. I don't have I still do all my stuff like super careful with it. So It's good. I miss Patrick a little bit though.
Yeah. And
I
it's
miss his needles. They're not allowed to needle here.
oh, really?
That's like some weird state law. I was like, because when I got here, I was like, my forearms were dying.
Yeah.
Like on horse, because Patrick would always needle my forearms.
Yeah.
But here they couldn't needle, and I was like, yo, I can't even grip anything. Like, do you guys do needling here? Like, oh, we can't do it. You have to go to acupuncture. I was like, oh my goodness, that's tragic. But they've like adjusted now. Finally, it took like 6 months.
Yeah.
So when I come back, I definitely need to see Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's currently seeing all like the coaches, I think, because we're in lockdown, sitting at desks, doing online, and our bodies are not used to not moving. So
I know you guys have been. I was talking to Sam the other day. I was like, damn, you're looking skinny. What happened?
just winding him up. You're like, I'm catching you, Sam.
I know. I need to send him another cross video.
Yeah. Can you maybe like highlight some of the different, I mean, you've kind of already pointed out a few things, but what are some of the differences maybe in the training culture between the college environment and your environment back in New Zealand? Not necessarily good or bad, but just differences.
Yeah. Well, in New Zealand, I was training with 4 people. It was me, Will, Sam, Zane. That was like our group. Sorry if I missed anyone. That was our
You're gonna get some angry messages after this.
Yeah. And now I have like 20 teammates,
Wow.
which is like
That's
crazy. When I first got there, I was like, oh my God. Because I had 2 weeks off and I had to show sets instantly. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
Really?
20 people were just screaming at me. I was like, oh.
So they do that in training as well?
Oh yeah. When you raise your set, it's like if you're on, it doesn't really matter where you are. You raise your set, it's like pretty much the whole gym, let's go. Just screaming. Like, and the coach is always like, Ethan, horse. And then Randy will look and the whole team looks, screaming for your practice. It's like, oh my God. People are always like, damn, I don't want to salute. Everyone's going to be looking at me. Yeah. But yeah, that makes like in the meets, it's crazy.
Really? It looks crazy.
The meet, it actually is crazy. I was like, oh my goodness. It's like a way different style of competing.
Yeah.
But it's super fun. Like probably the most fun I've had competing ever has been in college, definitely.
Yeah. So what is it about that dynamic that's enjoyable? Because if it's enjoyable, like why doesn't everybody do it? Like if it's a really fun way of training and competing.
The environment in the gym, like, even if like obviously we have rough days, but there's 20 guys to lift you up. And New Zealand, it's like, oh, you're having a rough day. Like there's only 3 guys there. They might be tired too. Like someone's gonna have energy when there's 20 guys. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which is good. But the meets is just like, I feel like competing, because obviously you compete for a team when you go for New Zealand, but really it's not like a team. It's like you're competing for yourself pretty much. Which I had to kind of adjust because I always competed for myself, and there's definitely less pressure when you're competing for yourself because it doesn't affect the whole team.
Yeah.
But like we're like, so you're competing, you're like, damn, if I fall, it messes up the whole team. So I was like, oh.
I got 20 guys looking at me.
Yeah, like screaming at you.
And Randy
dropping the clipboard.
Does he do that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe coaches need to be more like expressive in their frustration.
Maybe. No, yeah. Well, it's like even before you go, like, because there's only 5 guys compete. There's usually 6, but now only 5 guys make lineup.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Out of 20 guys.
So you really have to earn your spot.
So you have to be cooking like every day. And last year we had a lot of injuries, so it wasn't. So I was like, oh, if I fall on horse, I know I'm still going to be in the lineup because there wasn't a lot of guys. But now it's like, damn, if I fall in training, I'm going to be out of lineup. I'm not competing, which is like, that adds a lot of pressure. What I think elevates the environment because it's like a competition every day.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you want to do the best for your teammates, but you also want to be competing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting, Like that there's inherently in that environment, the stakes are higher, right? Like your team is impacted if you don't perform well. You are impacted in your scholarship potentially if it goes on long enough, if you don't perform well. Like your coach's job is kind of impacted if the team doesn't do, like there's a lot.
That's like a whole, that's like a whole thing. Yeah. That's like NCs. NCs was probably the funnest meet about, like, everyone was saying it was so fun. We were doing it so well because we started the season off good, and then we just kind of like we were like doing no good towards the end because we had like 6 competitions in a row, which was just brutal. Like everyone was, and when we travel, it's like 4:45 wake up for a 5:30 a.m. flight. I'm like, yo, what? Like, there's no way. Go on a flight, chill out at the hotel, train, and then you're competing the next day and leaving that night probably.
And so would you get home on like a Sunday night and then back to training the next day kind of thing?
Yeah, it was like, I remember in Minnesota, it was like we got back at like probably 1 a.m. Sunday night, had school the next day, and then like it'd be like a light day in the gym. But the traveling was definitely like, it was cool the first time, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is rough.
Yeah. And how many times did you compete in the season?
Competed maybe like 8, I think. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe more than 8. It was a lot.
Yeah. Over a period of how long was that?
Season started in January, ended in April.
So 4 months.
Yeah. So, and especially because if you're like an international gymnast, you peak for like one meet, kind of. You know what I mean? Like you're training for one meet.
Yeah. So
you can like cater the training. Like I feel like in New Zealand, I didn't really do that many 1-on-6s. Like a couple of weeks before the competition, I would do it. But
like
now
we do it once a week.
Yeah, that's what I was. And then I'm doing it every week now.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is like, I think it's crazy, but I'm doing it like once a week, but that's what you have to do for the college system because you're competing every week. So they want you to be like able to compete when your body's already hurting and dead. Whereas we could prepare for when I was like fresh and just had to have one good day, you know what I mean? So that was like a rough transition. But
so do you find that you're competing feeling less fresh then?
Yeah.
So I imagine though that when you then have a good competition and don't feel super fresh, that would give you some confidence that you don't have to feel perfect on competition day to have a good day.
Yeah, that's why we train like that, I guess. So we know we can hit when we're just feeling no good.
Yeah.
But it does work. And they're changing the what's called like the style of competition this year. So only 5 up, and it's gonna be like head to head. So like they go on floor, then we go. But it's also there's gonna be no one touch.
It's gonna speed it all up.
Yeah, to speed it up. And we did our inner squad and no one was prepared for the no one touch.
Yeah.
I've done it like twice, maybe 3 times in finals. So I was like, sort of knew what it was like, but it was pretty rough for our team. We're like, oh gosh. But now we're training like that, which is like we go on horse, cold set straight away.
Yeah.
But you have to do
it. Yeah. Don't make the lineup, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then it's like, oh, now you're on the sideline.
Oh no. How does the lineup work in terms of all-rounders versus specialists? Like, do you have to compete all-rounders, or are they included?
No, you can if you like. So there's a 5 spots, and then there's like an outside spot.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't count to the team. So if I was like, I don't know if like injured, they wanted me to provide like an all-round score.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to make every lineup. I could just do the
6th spot.
And then my score would get counted to my individual score, but the team wouldn't count my score. Yeah. That's kind of how it works. That's like at NCs we had. It was only me and Mike doing all round.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't in rings lineup, but I just competed rings outside, and he wasn't in floor lineup, but so he just did floor outside.
Yeah.
So low-key, you still have to make some lineups.
Yeah.
If we want more than one all-rounder competing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we can only have one extra spot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh man. So you mentioned before, being competing internationally and being at college. I know that can be a real challenge because they're kind of opposite seasons, right? So when you'd normally be having your off season, I suppose this year, particularly as we head into Commonwealth Games year and doing all the mandatory events in the lead up to that. What does this year look like for you internationally versus your college year?
Yeah, this is like a busy year because I was thinking about it last year. I was like, oh my God, because I was meant to go to Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna do like all the Olympic trials and all that. And I was like, damn, if I did that, I would have had no break. Because we finished in April and then Oceanias was like late April.
Yeah.
And then if I did make the Olympics or whatever, then it would be an Olympic, like no break. That's what like Brody Malone.
Yeah.
He like no break.
Yeah.
Because he competes for Stanford.
Yeah.
And he did everything. He did Worlds as well. I was like, yeah, he must just be dying.
He's a tank though, isn't he?
He's different. Oh yeah, he's definitely built different. But this year, I'm going to Cottbus, and so I start my season in January.
Yeah.
And then some of the guys hopefully will qualify to Winter Cup.
Yeah.
And that's the same weekend as Cottbus. That's like an off week for college competition. Yeah. So I won't miss anything there.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the only international I'm doing until after season. Then I think it's just when's Commonwealth? July,
August, yeah, something like that.
Around there. Then maybe one more in between that. But then my coach wants me to do like uni games, Worlds. So I could be having a long competing year.
Dude.
But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, see how your body.
It should be fun though. I haven't competed internationally since Doha, I think. Doha.
Yeah, I'll be curious to know what the experience of competing internationally is like, having competed at college, and just I imagine the experience would be quite different. Like except for Yin Alvarez, nobody's running around yelling at their athletes.
Oh yeah, it's like golf. International gymnastics is like golf. It's like quiet.
Civilized.
You're doing your horse. I remember never forget my NC's horse set because we hadn't missed. We started on P-bars, and we were like trying to make day 2. And we had Randy's. Was like 36 for 36. Like that's our goal. Blah blah. Like hitting every routine. And we're like, we would always have our own team. How to be like, don't think about that. Just do what you can do.
Yeah.
But we hadn't missed one routine, and I was like, oh, we're on horse. Like literally, the pressure was on.
You don't want to be that guy.
Literally, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. So I was like, okay, so nervous. And you can't even hear it because it was like the horse was here and literally there was a barricade and the whole team is right there yelling at you. You can't even hear anything. But when you hit it, it's like the most amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what? Like, especially horse.
Yeah.
It's like, horse is like the one. But unfortunately, we didn't make day 2. We had 2 falls on rings. Rings and vault left. 2 easiest events.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. We get back. Yeah.
As you were talking about the kind of, the team dynamic and yelling, it reminded me that for 360 this year, we created some team values. And one of the values of 360 is celebration. That actually, and this is we did with the athletes, and they came up with, actually it's really important to us to be in an environment where we're celebrating our success and we're cheering each other on, and it's there's that sense of team and camaraderie. I wonder if there's something that you could recommend that's a bit different about your environment in the training setting, that maybe we could adopt more. Maybe it's something that we don't do enough of, but you've found it to be a really beneficial component to your training?
Yeah, like with the like, you mean like the culture kind of in our team?
Yeah.
So we always talk about like we have like a vision and mission statement and all this stuff, and it's like trying to be the best for the guy next to you, like sacrificing for your teammates, which I think is important, like
Yeah.
because then it becomes like a real team instead of like, because in New Zealand it is, for me anyway, it was like I was mainly focused on myself. Like I wasn't thinking too much about the team. Like obviously I want my teammates to do well,
Yeah.
but when you like compete for a team and you're like truly a team, everyone feels way more like you feel confident when you're going like, oh, if I mess up, like I know they're not gonna judge me because I fell. Like they're always gonna be your brothers kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
And also if you're keeping the same energy you do in meet and like competitions in training, it's not gonna feel different when
Yeah.
you go into meet. So that's what we try to adopt over here at least, I guess. Because
Yeah.
I remember when I was in 360, we were like, yeah, we like the encouragement, like we want everyone to get loud.
Yeah.
But when you're having a down day in the gym, then suddenly there's no noise, like no one's really screaming. But if you're always doing it when you go to the meets, it's like it'll be second nature and everyone's used to it. Everyone feels like a team, like a family.
It also sounds like there's a commitment across the team to continue to encourage and to pick each other up even when you're not having great days, so that the celebration isn't dependent on feeling like celebrating, like it's actually something that you've committed to doing whether you feel like crap or not. And I think that's potentially something that we could really add value to, in that dynamic, taking some sort of personal responsibility for the role that you have in somebody else's experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's like you just always need to be. We always talk about it because we have these like psych meetings every Wednesday. It's like that's not the most fun thing, but it's all right.
But it's weird, obviously.
Yeah, we always talk about like how to deal with nerves. Like you need to be there for your teammates. How can we be better as a team? Like all this stuff. Like everything's really team focused.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, is like a college team. So
yeah. And what's the coach's role in that sense of celebration? Like, are they actively participating in that during training? And obviously competition they would be, but in training, are they in there too?
Yeah, definitely. Like Randy, if you hit like a good set, like a really good set, he'll always give you a fist bump, high five. It has to be good though for Randy to do that.
Yeah. Gotta earn it.
Yeah, but usually the coaches are always cheering. Like the assistant coaches, especially, always cheering really loud. They're like pretty much, they're obviously on the team, but they're more like, like a part of the actual team, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're always picking us up. Guys, like good guys to talk to as well. Obviously, they're your coaches.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm just conscious of time. I know that you've got a meeting to get off to. So maybe just in closing, I wonder, like we've had quite an extended period of time doing nothing. So online classes and, most of the Auckland-based clubs have been doing outdoor classes the last wee while. I wonder if there's anything encouraging you might want to say to the boys. It looks as though we're going to get back in the gym sometime before Christmas. But I think everybody's probably feeling a little bit anxious about the season, which is not far away.
I know. The guys are meant to be going to Germany in February.
Exactly, yeah. So is there anything that you would like to say to maybe encourage them?
I would say take it slow at the start. You don't want to rush into it, get injured, but ultimately just believe in yourself. Like, how many times have we been locked down before? This is an extra long one, but you have the ability and like you guys know what to do. Just work hard. You can do it. Get it done.
Pretty no nonsense. Get it done, right?
Yeah.
It's a good place to wrap it up. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. This will be a recording, so people aren't going to be watching it at. Well, actually, you would have had to get up at like 3 a.m. if we were going to do it at our regular 7 p.m. live. So you're welcome for taking into consideration your.
Thanks, David.
Hey, but awesome to catch up, and
yeah, that's good.
The season ahead. We'll see you on the international stage at some point. All the best.
For sure. Thank you, David. See you later.